spoil. I'm not going to say. Fuck it. We're not going to say what we're doing. It's probably in the description, but I'm not going to say it right now. You got to wait and see. It's going to be a surprise. What's our top 5 today, Jared?
Ooh. So our top 5 is a topical top. We're talking about the uses of previously recorded songs in movies, which kind of hurt my heart a little bit because I had to cut a lot of them when I realized, like, oh shit, this is the actor actually singing. Never mind. And it also hurt my heart because I can only pick 5. But we got to. There's a lot of great choices for us, a lot of great genres that we can do. So I'm excited to get into it. Did you want to start, or do you want me to start?
I'll let you start.
Cool. My number 5 comes from when it comes to using soundtracks and making a list about it, you can't really make it without including Quentin Tarantino, obviously. So, but I chose one that might not be on the first the first choice from every Tarantino fan.
Pulp Fiction.
It is not Pulp Fiction.
No, you refuse.
No, I almost did.
Really?
Son of a Preacher Man, but
okay.
Which is a great use of that song in that movie, but
yeah,
and one of the best soundtracks of all time, of course. But I chose one that was very unconventional, even for Tarantino, and came a total surprise to me when I watched the movie. It's a mashup between Payback and Untouchable by Tupac and James Brown. And so you got Tupac rapping over a James Brown instrumental in the film Django Unchained, while Django is just slaughtering slave owners left and right.
That's great.
And blood is splattering everywhere. And it's absolutely perfect in the moment. Spoiler alert for the movie. Skip ahead 30 seconds. He had just seen his surrogate older brother die right in front of him, and so he's filled with this righteous fury, and you totally root for him all the way through, and it's super entertaining. It's super satisfying because he's been holding back for so long in the movie, and he just finally gets to cut loose and kill everyone.
Yeah, it's a fantastic, very satisfying moment. And I'm glad you didn't steal my Tarantino pick on my list. But we're not quite there yet, so you're going to have to wait for it. This is a rarity. It's always a special moment when White Jared talks about superhero movies. But we've got one in here.
Hey.
And I'm not talking Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'm also throwing a curveball at you. I am talking Zack Snyder's Watchmen. With Times They Are A-Changin'.
Okay, good.
Fantastic fucking montage. We're a couple of Bob Dylan baby back boys. And so this has got to be on one of our lists, and so I might as well include it on mine. But it's a fantastic montage. You see the influence of these superheroes and kind of how they've fallen from grace. And it's delightful. It's just a lot of fun to watch, and it's such a well-executed use of that song, and really true to the heart of the song at the end of the day. And so it's my number 5.
Hell yeah. One of the best opening credit sequences of all time.
Absolutely.
I totally forgot about it from my list when we did that list. But yeah, for sure. My next one, people are going to hate me for even mentioning it, because it traumatized my whole generation when the film Insidious came out, and they played Tiptoe Through the Tulips by Tiny Tim.
I forget about that. Jesus Christ.
So funny enough, I knew this song before I watched Insidious, because my dad had known Tiny Tim, and he was like, "Hey Jared, check this out."
Oh yeah. My friends and I would play that for each other as a joke. Whenever we were just hanging out, we would cue it up somehow, or put it on some CD we were listening to.
It's a great track. It's so funny and whimsical, and he's surprisingly sincere in it. Tiptoe through the window.
The best vibrato ever used.
Yeah, dude. I love it. I love it. And then Insidious came out, and freaking James Wan with his twisted ass mind made everybody like turn into a cornered rat whenever they heard the opening bars to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's amazing, and the way it's used in the movie, it's used for like 3 different jump scares, and it works every time. Insidious isn't as refined as The Conjuring, but I appreciate that every single jump in that movie drives the story. And Tiptoe Through the Tulips is one of the best examples of that.
Absolutely agree. Great pick. Sleeper pick. I fuck with it.
Yep.
My number 4 is also an opening scene of a movie. I feel like we all got some PTSD from Tiptoe Through the Tulips, and so we're diving into that feeling with The End by The Doors in Apocalypse Now.
Yup.
It's just fucking fantastic. It's got that slow burn pace that gets you kind of settled in for the long, slow movie that you're about to watch. It's great character introduction. It's fantastic war introduction. Most of all, you don't get the glamification of it that you do with like Flight of the Valkyries in this movie. They just throw you in the deep end with some Vietnam flashbacks, and I think it's fantastic.
So good. So good.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I need to rewatch Apocalypse Now. Or I need to watch the final cut, because
Yeah,
it looks
I haven't
looks
seen
amazing.
it either. Maybe episode worthy.
Yeah, maybe. My number 3 is not not as traumatizing nearly as my number 4. It's actually quite happy and quite interesting. It's from a Studio Ghibli film, one of the lesser known ones, called Whisper of the Heart. This movie's kind of interesting because it's not a fantasy like the other Ghibli films that we're kind of used to seeing. It's a very based in realism. It takes place in 1980s Japan. But what I love about this cover of Take Me Home Country Road is that it's in Japanese. And so the movie opens up with a chorus of people singing this song, and I was like, wait a minute, I know this song. This isn't a Japanese song. and it just filled me with so much joy and so much.
Yeah.
And a lot of the movies about that kind of simplicity of life and finding joy in that. And so even though the movie takes place in the city, the song is absolutely perfect for it. Take Me Home Country Road.
Yeah. Remember a time we were on a bus in China and they told us to sing an American song? And we chose that.
I totally forgot about that.
And then they said, sing a Chinese song, and we sang the Mulan soundtrack.
Oh my god, I totally forgot.
What a disgraceful time in our history.
We did the whole song too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and that was on the news in China.
Wait, it was in the documentary?
No, but that one news station was the one that asked us.
Oh,
so
shit.
like it was a separate thing that none of us have seen since, and it horrifies me to this day. One day, like you're gonna become some famous like movie reviewer or something, and that video is gonna surface, and we're gonna get canceled because of it.
Oh man, I can't wait.
Yeah,
of all the things
I'm
to get
excited.
canceled for, if it's the Mulan soundtrack,
I'm okay with it.
yeah, we're good.
Cool. Anyways, time for my Tarantino pick. It's number 3. Drum roll, please. It's Reservoir Dogs with Stuck in the Middle with You while there's a torture going on, and it's horrifying. This was my pick for 2 other picks that I also kind of wanted to do. one of them didn't really work because it was Singing in the Rain and Clockwork Orange, and he's just seeing that
Right.
diegetically. And then the other was one that I can't remember. I just had it a second ago. But another like upbeat fucked up song, or upbeat song during a fucked up scene.
Is it?
And so this takes the place for that.
Was it the American Psycho one?
Yeah, hip
Yeah.
to be square.
Yeah.
So I went with this one. I think it's the best execution of those three as well.
Yeah.
So I'm not disappointed by Clockwork Orange's disqualification. It's just great. It's horrifying. His dance moves are fantastic. The torture is gruesome, and it's classic peak Tarantino, and I love it a lot.
Yeah, man, I love it. I love it. And like in true Tarantino fashion, it revived the song's popularity despite its twisted. Like, yeah, it was great. I love it.
Hell yeah.
Great pick.
Thank you.
My number 2 is was recorded before the movie, but is original is an original song made for the movie. It's from Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse. What's Up, Danger? It kind of plays at the climax of the film when our hero decides to become his own Spider-Man, and I love this sequence overall. Like it's a great like it's a great montage that's very quick but very that's very quick and very efficient, but also like takes its time with slow motion and like uses all these like really cool animation things. It's very cinematic. You're hearing every single line that kind of takes Miles to where he wants to go, and it's perfectly underscored by the beat of this song. When he takes that leap of faith that his mentor has been telling him to take, the song breaks down, and it's absolutely perfect. I totally love it.
Hell yeah. Great pick. You could pick a lot of that entire movie as one of these slots.
Yeah.
And another one you can do that with. We had our obligatory Tarantinos. Now I have my obligatory Edgar Wright.
Ooh.
This was a toss up too. I could have picked any number of Baby Driver songs, but at the end of the day, it's the second best horror movie of all time for a reason.
Yes.
And that reason is Don't Stop Me Now by Queen.
Yes.
It's fantastic. It's a plot point that sets up conflict. The execution is perfect. You see what would become Edgar Wright's Baby Driver style and the timing of music here. It's hilarious. The cricket bats and stuff on the zombies, fantastic. Everything about it is great, and the entry and exit into the song, it is diegetic too. The characters can hear the music because it's playing on jukebox, but just like throwing a zombie into the jukebox to stop it and get out of that scene is fantastic and clever. I love it. It's one of my favorite scenes of all time, and so I had to include it here.
Hell yeah. Definitely one of the best, one of our finest, one of the finest uses of Queen in anything, I think.
We could have just done Queen the whole time, really. We could do a separate list just for Queen.
Right. Freaking A Knight's Tale when they play We Will Rock You for no reason. In a jousting tournament. But
The sad thing about that is Bohemian Rhapsody probably wouldn't come up.
Oh, yeah.
It would probably just be skipped over in our top 5 uses of Queen.
Yeah. Well, no, Wayne's World. That's one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's a top 5 though. Interesting.
I think it's a top 5.
Yeah,
personally.
we'll see.
But I'm a Wayne's World fiend. Yeah.
We'll see. My number 1 has nothing to do with any of that. It's from it's a cover. It's the only cover on my, it's the second cover on my list. Also the second cover in a different language. The song "Crying," originally by Roy Orbison, was sung in Spanish by Rebecca Del Rio in the film Mulholland Drive. For those of you, I'm not going to give away too much about why this is in the film and what the song means and what what the song's placement in the in the film is like the significance of it. But it's one of those moments where, you know, I thought I was going in watching like a fun David Lynch movie that I like wouldn't understand but would still kind of just enjoy and let it wash over me. And this scene just like made me absolutely weep, and I had no idea why. And it has this powerful hypnotic quality to it. And then he pulls the rug out from under you right when the song gets climactic. And I won't say how, but it's very, very good. And I would recommend Mulholland Drive as a film just because of this scene that it's used in. Yeah.
Excellent pick. It's totally slipped my mind, but we can always count on Jared to get David Lynch in here. My number one is also one that made me cry. It's from a director who I have always kind of critiqued for not really having any real emotion in a lot of his films.
Right.
But this was an incredibly rare exception. I actually saw this scene before I saw the movie, and it made me watch the movie because of how much I loved this fucking scene. And that is Needle in the Hay by Elliott Smith in The Royal Tenenbaums by Wes Anderson. It is out of nowhere. Well, not out of nowhere, but a surprising attempted suicide scene.
Yeah.
Which is crazy for a Wes Anderson film. But I love it. It's dark. The ending of it is so like apathetic and heartbreaking. The whole thing is heartbreaking, but the way it comes to an end is even more heartbreaking. It's ever since I watched it, it's been my favorite use of a song in a movie, and it still is to this day. I absolutely adore this scene. It's my favorite scene in any Wes Anderson film. It's my favorite Wes Anderson film too. So I'm throwing all the favorites into this one. That's my number one, Royal Tenenbaums.
Hell yeah, dude. That totally slipped my mind too. Yeah. Such a great performance by Luke Wilson and the whole cast, of course, but
Yeah.
holy shit. Yeah.